Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to our Oaklawn Hometown School District 123 Community Update for today, Wednesday, February 28th. My name is Paul Enderle. I'm the proud superintendent here in School District 123, checking in and ready to inform our community about some recent updates and things happening around District 123. So let's dive right in. We have a bunch of information we'd like to share out with our community today. We're going to talk about just some of the great things happening in our school system. We're in the midst of celebrating Public Schools Week here in District 123, and we have some things to share. Our Board of Education, as always, has been busy over the past month, and we're going to review some of our board actions that have recently taken place through the Board of Education. One of their actions is to have approved the District 123 calendar for the 24-25 school year. So that calendar now is up and active on our District 123 website, and we're going to talk through some of the high-level important dates and calendar events that will take place next school year. We're going to talk a little bit about registration, give the community an update on our brand new Early Learning Center, talk a little bit about family engagement, which is at an all-time high here in District 123, with the participation of our parents and our staff with the 5 Essentials survey, as well as our recent February family conferences. We're going to talk a little bit about summer school and just make sure that the community stays updated on all the relevant pieces of information that are happening here in School District 123. So let's jump in to each of our schools and just kind of give the community a glimpse into some of the wonderful things happening here in District 123. The first story here, the first moment, comes out of Covington Elementary School, where we were very fortunate to have a very important guest visitor visit our students in the new media center over at Covington Elementary School. Judge Maura McMahon-Zeller came and spoke to our students about the promotion of history, of law, and of literacy. This was part of the One Book, One Judge program, and we were very fortunate to have Judge Maura McMahon-Zeller come and speak to some of our second graders and our fourth graders. I believe there was some reading that went on, some discussion, and it was just a wonderful day for our students there to really connect with someone in the legal field and an actual judge. So it's a great way of connecting the community with some of our learning programs in District 123. At Hannum Elementary School has a buddy classroom program where we match some of our older students at Hannum, our 4th and 5th graders, with some of our younger students, our kindergarten and 1st grade students. And they do some activities together. They read together, do math together, they do crafts together, and just simply engage. It's a great way Hannum Elementary School is able to show really a strong sense of community, peer-to-peer community in our school system. So this is a wonderful story coming out of Hannum Elementary School. We're at the conclusion of celebrating Black History Month here in District 123, and this is an example from Mr. Carson over at Hometown Elementary School and a bulletin board that was erected in regards to celebrating Black History Month, something that we do and lives and breathes in each of our schools across District 123. At Colmar Elementary School last month, we had a very exciting day partnering together with one of our families of a student that recently completed chemotherapy. The entire school welcomed their friend back, and it was a great celebration. You could see our students on the walkway with positive signs. Even our very own Village of Oaklawn Fire Department got involved and actually escorted our student to school. So you can see Mr. Creech and the family there and all of our students welcoming this young man back into school at Hometown. Again, celebrating our students, celebrating success, and really staying connected as a community here in District 123. So a wonderful story out of Colmar Elementary as well. Some outstanding project-based learning happening at Sword Elementary. Project-based learning is one way in District 123 where we try to fully engage our learners and make sure that they are actively learning and practically applying knowledge to real-world situations. And this is a great example of 5th grade students working together at Sword Elementary when they actually worked to build a city. So you could see a few of these products of some of the cities our fifth graders over at Sword constructed. Project-based learning is a key strategy we leverage here in District 123. It's something we expose all of our learners to from preschool, from the age of 3, all the way up to 8th grade. And again, connecting the knowledge and the information that they process and applying it to real-world settings. That's something that's very important to us. So this is a great example coming out of SWORD of that idea of project-based learning. And finally, here at the middle school, we have one of our guidance counselors, Mrs. Fulmer, speaking to a group of 8th graders on a platform that we use called Zello. Zello is a career exploration program that helps our middle school students become and start thinking about their future and future careers and how they take some of their passions, their interests, things they want to become, dreams they have, and practically make them into reality. So we do a lot of work at our middle school to make sure that our young adolescents are starting to think about their future. And using a platform like Zello helps our staff and our students work together at learning about some of the things they need to do now as young adolescents to prepare for their futures. And I want to also note that this Zello tool we use to help organize some of this career curriculum is a product of our District 123 Ed Foundation. Mrs. Fulmer won an Ed Foundation grant, and now through that award is able to deliver, again, an element of real-world education to our young learners over at Oaklawn Hometown Middle School. So again, a great example in both of these slides of how we make learning come alive and we keep our kids focused on the future. The future of our students and their success in the future is significant to us. It's something that is a key outcome of what we want to do every day. And some of these examples really show what's happening today, how what happens today could greatly impact the future. Another thing we celebrated over the course, and we're currently celebrating today, is Public Schools Week across the nation. This is a week-long celebration just dedicated to and honoring the contributions and the achievements of not only educators, but educational advocates, schools, school districts across the entire country. And as a way to celebrate Public Schools Week, we have been posting pictures of the wonderful things happening across District 123 in response to that celebration. So we're always interested in recognizing the great work we do and celebrating the wonderful work of our students and staff in District 123. So Public Schools Week, congratulations to all of our schools. These are some of the posts and some of the pictures you'll see on social media regarding this week-long celebration. Our Board of Education was recently busy and has been busy over the past month. Reviewing information and making decisions relevant to the school district here in District 123. The most recent Board of Education meeting, our middle school principal, Dr. Sean McNichols, provided an excellent presentation. We had some of our music students perform. We had a short presentation from our eSports club at Oaklawn Hometown Middle School, as well as our culinary arts club. And we actually had students present those in the audience, as well as our Board of Education, with food they've been preparing as part of that club. So we had a really nice experience there. We honored one of our staff members who recently won the Illinois State Board of Education Those Who Excel Award, and we're going to have more on that in a minute. The board acted to approve the 24-25 calendar, as well as a strategic planning agreement with a partner to start that process next year. We discussed early learning center construction, as well as a full school painting project we plan to pursue this summer. But to go back to celebrating one of our very own, I would like to again recognize one of our preschool teachers, Mrs. Nicole Pashenko, who's currently a preschool teacher at Covington Elementary School, for earning the Illinois State Board of Education Those Who Excel Award. This award is recognized by the State Board of Education for educators' outstanding contributions. Nicole is one of about 500 educators across the state that will be honored this year relative to this award. This award is really predicated on an educator's creativity, their energy, and their ability to inspire students and their colleagues. So it's quite an honor. It's something that we're very honored to have someone who has reached this pinnacle. And I just want to congratulate Nicole, who is going to transition into a role of being an instructional coach and parent coordinator in our new District 123 early learning program next year. So it's a tremendous tribute to the great work that Nicole's brought to our school system, and we're looking forward to continuing to work with Nicole. And this is a great picture of how Nicole was recognized by our Board of Education at their most recent meeting. As stated previously, the board did approve the 2024-2025 District 123 school calendar at the recent meeting. That full calendar can be accessed by going onto our website at d123.org. But just some highlights. The calendar actually very similarly parallels this year's calendar, so there aren't too many surprises in it. Typically, we're going to be starting the year the week of August 19th with some Staff Institute days. The first day of student attendance will be on August 21st. We'll have our normal, we have an election day on November 5th. We'll continue the week-long Thanksgiving holiday break. Winter break will be 2 weeks from December 23rd through January 3rd. Spring break next year will fall March 24th through 29th. Graduation, June 5th, and the last final day of student attendance will take place on June 6th. So if you have any questions about the calendar, feel free to contact your schools or contact us here at District Office. But that calendar should be live on the website now for public consumption. Another thing the board did is they made an official, they voted to officially approve a partnering company, that works with Illinois school districts on strategic planning, Hazard Young, Attia and Associates, and we're going to be working with HYA to help run a strategic planning process that's going to kick off in August of 2024. Our current strategic plan is set to expire in 2024, so the board has been busy looking at what organizations offer, talking about strategic planning this entire year, and making plans to really get that process up and running and to fully engage our entire Oak Lawn and hometown community in that process. Next fall, you could expect focus groups, interviews, community surveys to be launched in August and September. We really want our community to remain engaged and to provide us feedback in making plans for the future. We definitely will be assembling a community strategic planning committee to help shepherd some of that work, but we're really proud of the outcomes that we've been able to get to relative to the plan that's been in play the past 5 years, and we're looking forward to seeing what the community is going to say relative to input for our long-term plan that will probably start in the year 2025 and extend all the way into the year 2030 here in District 123. So we're going to be excited to launch and really start next year with that strategic planning and long-term planning process. Just some things that, as we talk about the long term, I want to kind of pull things back to the springtime as we seek to exit the month of February, and as we start hopping into March, we start thinking about returning school registration for next school year. So with the action of the new calendar being finally approved this week, just a couple things to highlight to our community regarding the registration process. We've been looking to streamline our registration process to make sure that it is, there are less steps and it's a faster process. So every year we look at registration to make sure it can be as efficient as it can be for our entire community. So what it really provides anyone returning to the district, any student returning to the district, is a wonderful opportunity to make sure information's updated. Very important to us. We know phone numbers and email addresses change. And when those changes, I know we don't always remember to contact the school. this annual process provides our families that opportunity to always make sure emergency contact information and general information is updated into Skyward. It also helps us in District 123 to plan for enrollment. We've been very fortunate over the past decade to have a very flat enrollment in District 123. We haven't really grown a lot. We haven't lost a lot of students. We're at about that 3,300, 3,400 mark over the past decade. Currently, our enrollment projections show that we'll be remaining flat, but it does help us, especially having a community school district where we have separate communities attend separate elementary schools. Sometimes we see anomalies. We see one year a high number of kindergartners come in or a low number of first graders. Whatever that anomaly might be, keeping up with registration helps us better predict staffing and plans for future years. And just so the community does know that every spring when enrollment and registration does start, we do start our regular residency verification process. And we do, every household that registers with District 123 goes through a residency process. If there are any concerns or flags that signal us regarding residency, we do speak with families and we kind of take a deeper dive into that. Making sure we're serving the students who live within our boundaries is an important priority for us. So that annual registration process kind of starts that process of residency verification, and we do scrutinize every student's residency in District 123, and sometimes we do require households to add additional residency verifications, if certain flags tell us that. So that's something to consider, and I believe, as we've mentioned to our community before, this year there will be no fees connected to student registration here in District 123. So that's something, again, that we hope will add to a greater efficiency for our system. But we're hoping to start student registration on April 10th. So about 5 weeks down the road, we get back from spring break, we move into April. That will be the time where we're really going to be pushing registration. So we would hope our returning families can get started with that quickly. It really helps us out tremendously as we plan for future years. Early Learning Center updates continue. As many of you know, we're in the process of renovating our administrative center here at 93rd and Keeler to make it ready to house about 300 3- and 4-year-olds next year. So we're looking to do a number of upgrades to our current facility. We're renovating the entire office area, 10 classrooms. We're building a new early learning family center here on the corner of 93rd and Keeler. If you drive by, you'll see the construction workers are taking great advantage of the wonderful weather we've been having this February to get started. Foundations have been poured. Electric, plumbing, HVAC is in the process of getting renovated as well. In the next month, you're going to see some more construction going on because we're going to be adding a public access road to the south boundary of our administrative center. That's going to allow parents to enter that road from Keeler Avenue and wrap around the building and pick up and drop off their children in a safe and efficient manner on the west side of the building. So you're going to see the community is going to see some construction happening relative to that road probably within the next 4 to 6 weeks. So a lot happening. We've been very fortunate to have some weather that has allowed our crews to get outside and get some of this work started. And right now we're actually a little bit ahead of schedule relative to that renovation. These are just some renderings to show our community. This is what a typical classroom will look like. Each of our classrooms will have areas where students can store materials. They will be retrofitted for students who are 3- and 4-year-olds, so things will be set kind of at their size in a sense. We have sinks, counter space, cabinetry, a lot of things to really help make learning stay active and alive for our early learners next year in District 123. So that project continues to move forward to our families and our community who have 3- and 4-year-olds, or even if you have a 2-year-old. Registration is ongoing for preschool, so feel free to contact actually Colmar School now, our district office now. We'll point you in the right direction to start that registration process for your child if you'd like them to have a seat in our preschool program next year. Speaking of family engagement, we talked a little bit about just having a wonderful community here in District 123, and this is a great representation of that. Each year, the state of Illinois puts out what is called the 5 Essentials Survey. The 5 Essentials Survey is a survey that really looks at key factors that are included in making a school and a school system successful. And we ask our community each year, our parents, our staff, and our students, to take the 5 Essentials Survey. It just takes a couple minutes. And what that information allows us to do through a leadership perspective is really to use that feedback to plan future initiatives and actions here in the district. And over the past 4 or 5 years, we've been using 5 Essentials feedback to really guide some of the planning we do in the springtime and in the summer as we prepare for the next school year. And currently, we've met our thresholds for the 5 Essentials. We've met certain participation rates that allow us then to gain access to that information when it's released in June. So we've met thresholds for staff, we've met thresholds for students, and we're very close to meeting our thresholds for parents. So if you haven't had a chance, if you're a parent out there, and you haven't had a chance to take the 5 Essentials, here are our participation rates so far at all of our schools. We want to reach at least a 20% participation rate. By getting to 20%, it allows us to be able to get access to the data. It's very important data for us, and even as we embark upon strategic planning, I anticipate the 5 Essentials feedback going to be a big part of that. So if you haven't taken 5 Essentials yet, we've got about a month left in the window. So timing-wise, we're doing very well, and I want to thank our community. I mean, this is a great outcome, seeing this high level of engagement at this juncture with still, I think, 5 weeks of the window left. The window, I think, expires at the end of March. So we still have time. If you're having trouble logging in or accessing 5 Essentials, please reach out to any of our schools. Our office staff could certainly help you navigate the direction to go in and the steps involved in taking the survey. It takes just a few minutes, but the information it yields us is invaluable. So please consider to do that. Again, you can find information on our website at d123.org/5. So if you go there, take the 5 Essentials today if you haven't done so yet. Another great family engagement opportunity. We just got done with, last week we were fully vested in our February family conferences. Here in District 123, here are a few pictures of our family conferences from this February, and you can see our students take an active role in their learning. They're the ones learning, and student-led conferences help us be able to kind of keep that triangle of communication alive: teacher, parent, student. And you can see these are great examples of our parents and our staff working together with our students and having our students kind of guide some of that. We want our students to own their own learning. We want them to be involved in that process. And that we want them to hear the feedback of areas they're doing well and growing in, areas where they're not so doing so well, where they need growth. That's part of the learning process, and student-led conferences help us be transparent with that. So big thanks to our community. Total attendance, in the February we had over 3,000 family conferences. 84% of those that were scheduled took place. About 75% of our community, our students engaged in at least one conference. So we're really happy about those numbers and that data that really shows that our schools care enough about our kids to dedicate time to this. Our families care enough about their kids to join us, and it really helps us to expand and enhance learning for our kids when our schools and our homes come together in a positive way to foster learning. A key element of any successful school or school district is how engaged our families are in learning and what happens here. And each and every year in the fall and in February when we have family conferences, It's a great testament to the work we do together as a community to help educate our children. As we move forward, when the school year ends in June, it doesn't mean learning ends in District 123. We're busy planning for our summer school program. This year, our summer school program is going to extend from June 17th through July 18th. Typically, what we do is we're going to have summer school for 2 weeks before 4th of July and then 2 weeks after the week of 4th of July. Summer school does take place Monday through Thursday from 8:30 to 12:30. There are academics, there are interest-based programs, there are specific programs for some of our English language learners, students on IEPs. We do plan this year to host our summer school program at both Oaklawn Hometown Middle School and then our ESY, or our special education program, at Hometown Elementary School. So just so our community knows that, and registration will open in about a month's time, March 22nd, and we hope to have information and an informational packet out to our families, hopefully right before spring break, so our families could take that time to take a look at some offerings. We feel like it's an affordable way to keep our students engaged and actively learning, whether you're looking to help your student get ready for the next grade level. Academically, we offer a lot of reading, math, and writing courses, but we also offer a number of interest-based courses such as music, art, drama, and many, many other choices. I'm always very impressed at the creativity of our staff and how they bring some of their own interests and passions into the work we do with summer school. So if you're thinking of plans for your kids, please consider District 123's 15-day summer program. It's always very well received, and we always have a great turnout. So more information to come about that in about a month's time. As we move into the month of March, just a couple things to remember. This Friday, second trimester ends. That marks 2/3 of the school year gone and past, but we still have about a third left. No school this Monday, March 5th, due to Pulaski Day holiday. March 6th, we'll have a late start day. We have an election day, Teacher Institute on March 19th. Then we have our spring break week, which extends from March 25 to April 1st. And school will resume then on April 2nd. And it's really important. This time after spring break is significant to our school system. We have 9 weeks, over 2 months after spring break, where we have very uninterrupted school. The months of April and May in school systems are not choppy with days off. Those 2 months are very crucial for the development and the progress and the growth of our students. As the weather warms up, sometimes it's tough because kids get antsy to go outside and they want to start their summer breaks. But it's important to note that those 2 months, we get busy with work. We're focused on work those last 2 months. We want to squeeze every element of time and maximize every minute for learning up into the end of June. So that last 2 months is a big part of our school year that we're really going to be focusing on moving forward. As always, we want our school community to always stay connected, and there are many opportunities to stay connected, especially as we embark upon the third trimester. If you haven't been involved in PTA or any of our organizations, please do so. We are very fortunate to have active parent organizations here in District 123. Our door is always open. Never hesitate to contact us with any questions regarding our school system. At this point, I'm going to open the floor up to any questions we might have for the community on Facebook Live, and I'm hearing none for today. But again, this is just only one medium of connection we have in District 123. Our door is open. Never hesitate to call us or email us with questions. And like our picture of our puzzle, we know that we all come to District 123 in our community, individually. But when we come together, when we stay connected, when we engage in things like surveys and family conferences and parent organizations, we come together to form something that's really truly connected, and that's our school system. So that's something that's really important to us as a community, to make sure that we work together to foster great achievement and great outcomes and great experiences for our young people. That being said, our next community update will be about a month down the road, right before spring break on Wednesday, March 20th. And until that time, I'll be checking out, but I want to thank everyone who tuned in live today for this month's community update. Take care, everyone.